Hello everybody, welcome back to the single player world. We are standing in front of our ship and I've done a few changes to it. It's a very sad looking ship, but it's alright. It's looking better. There's a few major differences with the back here, but that's alright. We're not going to be working on the ship today. We're going to be working on something else a little bit more. Man, look how many of those guys there are. So I'll quickly go over some of the things we have changed on the ship. Obviously, the back of it has changed quite dramatically. Before it had this real big bulge. It's kind of actually bulging out more or less around that distance there. And I decided that was a bit too much, and I think you guys could agree. It just wasn't looking quite as good as it could be looking, and I think this is a great improvement. A very different sort of thing, and I am not 100% sold on this idea, but I think it looks better than before, and we'll stick with it for now and make some improvements to it in the future. But overall, I think this is a very good looking build. And I just love the way it turned out in general, like standing from back here, and do not worry about that. We'll get to that in a very near future. But there we go. That's what it's looking like. And I love it. I think it's going to go very well in this area. And besides that, I just think that now we've got another big build, another pretty build, and it's all just complementing each other. And we're just going to keep moving this from this area on outwards to all the other areas we're doing, including this one right here, which I thought we'd get started on, because this is something a little bit different to the shipbuilding. The shipbuilding is a very tedious job. There's a lot of things to go into it, but overall, it's very rewarding by the time you finished it. And I think we can just step back and leave it for a little bit before we go back and put the interior in, because that's a big task. So let's get into planning. I want to start off this episode with us planning out what we're going to be doing. So you guys have an idea, and I have an idea of at least about this whole city, really. About how big the roads are going to be, what's going to be on them, just in general, how they're going to work. And what I was thinking was, what would be a good size for the roads, and what would be a good shape for the roads? How we're going to do it. So we'll talk about that right now, because this wagon we did a few episodes back, and I really like the look of it. I think this is as small as we're going to get a good looking wagon in Minecraft. Obviously, the wheels being the problem, and our horses have, without any surprise, gone off wandering that way, because leads are completely fine in Minecraft. One thing that I was thinking about with this, though, is how wide do I want this road? And currently, we only did this out, 6 blocks there? I thought we could maybe push it out a little bit further. Is that 6? I thought it was an odd number. Yeah, it is 6. 6 blocks to this part over here. And I would really like to make this road a little bit larger than what it is. So what we decided to do is what I decided to do was to go out another few more blocks this way. So we've really got 1, 2, 3, 7. Is that right? 7 blocks, including that one there. But that's also not going to be working. That's a little bit of a problem for us over here. And the problem over here for us is that I was deciding, wait, what happens once we come around this road? How do we get this whole area here to look well planned out? Like, what are we doing for our next stage over here? And I was thinking we could have this road going around this way. I was just planning a little bit of a swivel around here to make it a bit more interesting. And then it'll go around that way over there. And we'll have to put buildings and stuff in here eventually. It's not a big deal right now. We don't have to think about it actually right now until we get there. But most importantly, we are going to be thinking about the first real intersection that I think I've ever done, to be honest, that with the intent of it being an intersection. And I think it's going to be really interesting and really cool. So let's just quickly do our planning. And one thing I decided to do was plan out the middle piece here, which is going to be the interesting part. I'm thinking, do we do a fountain? Do we do a garden? Do we do just a plain boring thing? Obviously, plain boring things off. So we're going to do a fountain crossed with a garden. I think that could be a very interesting build here. And I think it's a bit of a challenge for us to see what we can come up with. So this is just what I want to do quickly before I get too far, is just test out the size of this. And one thing I've had a bit of a struggle with was getting this to be large enough to picture one of these, a wagon going around it. But now that I've pulled these out this way, just so that they actually line up with the pavement itself, I think we should be all right. Let me just do that there, and then that there. Of course, we'll have to get the others involved as well. Is that right? I think I've done something wrong here, but that's all right. We'll figure it out soon enough. There you go, something like that there. And I think that I could imagine a wagon going around. It doesn't have to be very spacious, but I think it should be somewhat to scale here. And that width over there, Yeah, that's more than wide enough. Just enough so that it's not cozy enough. It's cozy. It's not spacious enough for one of these to happily fit past another one, but you know what? They're not actually going to be moving, so we'll be all right. And then I guess what we're going to do right now is I'll get started on getting this area cleared out because that's important. We need this all removed. And once we've got this removed, I guess we'll get started on the fun, exciting thing being this fountain around here. There it is. Looking, I think, very, very good. Look at that shape that we've got going on there. I really, really love it. And I think it shows best from up here because really, think about these streets. We're not going to be looking at them too much. We're going to be looking at the buildings around them. And I think overall, that is exactly what we are going for. And I've actually picked a pretty cool time of day. You've got some really cool colors here. So that's what I've got going on. I've done a few little changes to the original plan. And that is how planning goes, I guess. Obviously, we fall into these occasionally, but we'll do all right. It's our little half slab trick that I'll show you guys if you're not too familiar with. It's very, very simple. But what I've done is I've expanded it out 1 block on either side. Remember how we said 7 blocks wide was good? It just wasn't working. So I did it 9 blocks wide, and I think that works very, very well. Look at that. Just wide enough to fit one of these. In fact, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, yep, definitely is. Definitely is. For a second, I thought I went 1 too many, but I didn't. So I think what we can do now is we can start playing around with this thing here. Maybe start working out the heights, working out what we're going to do. I do understand that we see the yucky orange stuff over there. We're going to get rid of that, actually. Let's get rid of that right now. We've got 2 ways of fixing this. We can either do something like this and just hide it. So we can, for instance, do stuff like that. Let's put one of those there. Maybe do something like that. I don't know. That could work actually kind of all right. In fact, it might look like this has just got stuff growing on it, like falling over the edges. Maybe a bit too messy. So we'll go around this way. This was my other plan that I had, which was doing something along these lines here, looking like a bit of dirt has pushed up on the sides. So we can try that out as well. Maybe that there, and then I could even put a stair. That could work. Let me just put one of these stairs in here. Do I not have... There we go. Perfect. One of these stairs like this could do the trick to not look too much. And we could even do just a combination of these to make it look like there's a bit of dirt washed up in pieces. Yeah, like something like that. Of course, that one there has to go. Like that is not going to work there. But that could be a good way of just hiding that ugly yellow. And of course, I've put these 2 single ones like that, and we've got to work out a way of fixing them up. I could just put them sideways, but I thought sideways was a bit ugly. And in fact, we could maybe just do something like a little bit of a decoration thing here. I don't know, maybe a railing of some sorts, but that's all right. We're not going to deal with that. Let's deal with this. So for this, I was thinking about how do we get the right height? How do we know what we're going for? Because remember, we're going for a fountain crossed with a garden. And I was thinking probably about this height, a little bit taller, because we can't afford to go quite grand with these things, because we do have a pretty expensive, wealthy city. Well, not expensive, a wealthy city. And I feel like a grand fountain could look kind of cool. Just a bit of water pouring out. Maybe only one side. It might be more interesting making this an odd-shaped, an asymmetrical thing, you know, just pulling over to one side, water dripping over, falling down into a little pond with a garden around you. I think that could actually be very, very awesome. And maybe doing it like that and pouring down 2 sides would have it kind of cool, because if I just did one, say for instance, let's just picture, what I'm thinking right now at least, is sort of like a little bit of a question mark thing where it goes around like that. But the problem is, if we do it just one way, it's only going to look good from one of these sides, and maybe that side as well, if we did like that. But this way, it's just going to look like a flat thing. So maybe we could do water pouring off 2 different sides. So one here and one there. But we'll mess around with that. I just want to make sure that the height is all right. And then once we've got the height covered, I actually just realized I don't have any more chicken, and I don't have any more ender pearls. So this could be kind of interesting. So let's just go up here. I was thinking maybe 2 blocks maximum, maybe 3. Above here. Let's try that out there. And then, of course, get rid of these quick. Let's go check that out. Yeah, that actually, I know it might seem a bit crazy, but picture these coming out a little bit, that going down. I think this is going to work. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a few different ideas together, see what I like, and I'll bring you guys right back once I've got a good plan for this. Right, so the shape thing was a bit harder than I expected, but I decided I would do the bottom piece and then kind of work backwards and see what I could come up with. And I've got a hunch that this could look pretty cool what I'm about to try here. This is all just kind of scaffolding planning blocks around here, but I've done this, so as soon as I put a block in over here, Let's just do it. This should fall over here, but because I have got these, it shouldn't spread out in each direction. Perfect. Wonderful. So these are going to be a few little tricks we're going to have to use to try and get an interesting looking thing. Now, I don't know. I think if I get rid of this block, this is going to fall down here. Let me just keep that there. Yeah, I don't want that. So as soon as I do this, it's kind of ruined and we're going to have to start again. Because water is weird in Minecraft and it stays like that. But there's a lot of just picturing what I'm going to be doing here and how I'm going to get it, which is kind of strange. Also, by the way, I'm stuck in that block there. While I'm at it, look at this. We've got brand new sword, brand new shovel, brand new diamond axe, brand new diamond pickaxe, and everything else here is brand new. I may have derped up quite a bit. And that was actually just after the last episode, in fact. I decided, because after the ship was done, I saved my world. I put all my items into okay, there we go. That's what we need. That's the shape we need. All right. I put all my items into a chest for a world download. And as soon as I did that, I came back into my world on the save file. And for some reason, all of my stuff was gone. I'm not so sure. Actually, by the way, that worked without me having to put those extra pieces in there. But yeah, all my stuff was gone that was in the chest. And it's not like my player data was gone. My levels were still the same, whatever they were before I died. Everything was still the same. It was just that one little piece that was wrong. I realized I probably have to redo this water and wait a little bit longer. But it was very, very strange. I thought I'd let you guys know about that before someone wonders what happened to all the beautiful stuff. I still have to get mending. The only thing that's got mending are these two. And that was because of the end thing. Like, I found that one in an end city. But the rest of them, I'm quite low on the mending thing. Plus, actually, the very worst thing, we were 10 blocks away, 10 diamond blocks away, that is, from a full, real diamond beacon. I've always done my fake diamond beacons where I fill in the inside with gold and then the outside is diamond, so it looks like a diamond beacon, but we almost got there. We'll have to just challenge ourselves again. But look at that. That's the sort of thing I'm thinking of. Maybe, I mean, I could really do this on each side. It could look kind of interesting. Maybe, you know what? Maybe what I should do is I should do one coming off there, one coming off there, and then go a little bit lower and have these ones here falling off on each side. That could look kind of interesting. Or I could just do each one at its own level. That could also be a cool thing. I've got a lot of decisions to make. So what I think I should do is probably go up to the top here, work out a little spout for the water to be coming out of, and work our way down very slowly. I think it's just a matter of trial and error until I get the correct shape here. And also, one thing which we're going to do here, I've just placed in all these bushes and stuff, we're putting in a little bit of grass in some places. For instance, here, we'll put in one of these, and we'll put flowers on it. We'll make this a little bit of a flower bed as well. I think that'll be really, really cool. But I'll let that grow over with grass. I'll get some flowers. We'll do that in a little bit. There we are. Just take in that little view there. I thought we would just stop, because I don't think I've actually shown you guys what it looks like properly from here. Maybe we did. I just can't remember it. But man, I'm loving it. I'm loving the look of it. Just in general. But we've got a brand new thing to look at. I've done quite a bit of work on the fountain. And I'm going to split everyone up here. You're going to get people who don't like it, people who like it. I know. I'm trying weird things. We're trying to do something a little bit different. And I think this is actually going to slowly but surely work in this area. Now, picture this. We've got a big building over here, big building around there. Probably pulling along this way because I haven't done a path over here. Probably going to plan one out over here. I think this will be all right. And it's kind of interesting. I'll maybe just point out a few of the things that I really liked about it. Is getting in the banners obviously adds in a ton of color. And I tend to battle getting color into my builds in general. It's very easy to just easily use your browns and your grays and get away with it. I mean, pretty guilty. And I think that looks really, really awesome to see a little bit of color. The green, the red, the blue. It's a very sparkly build. And I'm waiting for the night to go down. In fact, I was really hoping for that. Because then we can see the lighting and stuff here. We can maybe see what these lights are actually looking like. But this over here is just the start of what we're doing. I also have to work on pavements. And the pavements are going to be an interesting one, which we'll go have a look at now. Man, I love the sky so much. We've already acknowledged the beautiful sky today, but man, it's good. So the pavements over here, I'm planning on maybe doing a few bushes. I don't have any bushes around these little spots. And we have to put some interesting things that you'd find along pavements, maybe definitely a lamppost around here, which I'm going to plan this one over here to be the same distance over there. Look at that. There we go. That's looking really, really awesome. Man, I can't wait until we get the ability to at least have lights off and not have a bunch of mobs around. Just look at that. That is looking so, so cool. The little light on the ground there, that light coming out of there. I'm actually very, very excited for once we get a real deal mob switch in this world and we can actually go and let ourselves play at night. Because I've spoken about this before actually in a stream recently about it. And maybe I could tell you guys what I think about it. Because I feel like it's a whole point that gets missed out of Minecraft completely. And that is just the playing of the game at night. It's just, you end up losing that whole thing. Because all you have to do is sleep the night away, and you don't have to be bothered by any mobs, you don't have to worry about anything else, and it's a little bit sad in my opinion, because we end up missing out on an entire range of building with light, and building with different things like that. All you have to do, I mean, even in smaller builds, not even nighttime, just in darker builds, you end up having a cave, lighting the whole cave up with a bunch of torches and stuff. I mean, fair enough, We've tried our way getting around that with different types of lighting techniques, which do get quite interesting. But you end up just losing out on so much stuff, in my opinion. So I really hope that we can get this mob switch working nicely for us. And just in general, I really hope there's some solution to the whole lighting issue, in my opinion, issue in the game. Because it just, you lose so much. How tall is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we split off. There we go. So that's the split off, and we want to split these in that direction, and then go another 1. Is that right? Perfect. I end up forgetting about my own lamp designs there and here. I really, really like this one though. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Just like what I wanted. All right. So maybe I should just quickly get this one done off camera. I think what I actually might do, I might just do this one. We'll do another 1 over here and there. Maybe just scatter them around this area here to look quite filled in. And I'm also planning on another cool thing, which I really hope it does work quite well. Let me put that in here. There we go. Another thing which I think I'm pretty sure it'll work quite cool, is these sorts of things here, the hanging stuff, taking up the space that would normally be in between 2 buildings. I feel like we normally forget about that space. It's easy to. But what will be awesome is maybe having some things drooping down, for instance, an archway coming over the road at some point. Another thing which will be awesome is when we start doing houses, having clotheslines hanging across and having lines holding banners hanging across. I think that would be really, really cool in the city. Yeah, I didn't end up doing more of these. I just left these 2 as they are. In fact, I worked out that this one's actually 1 block off the difference over there in this direction, if that makes sense. So I've actually put this one in a slightly different spot to that one, but it's alright because having everything exactly the same will start looking pretty funny. In fact, can you guys see this one repeating pattern going diagonally over there? I've just realized it now. Just noticed it. Full diagonal. Completely random. And a full diagonal there. But that's right. What I've done is I've put in a little bit of stuff because I thought this would be a bit more fun. I was going to be putting in some lights, but you know what? I decided let's try a park bench, which is a little bit weird, I will admit, but this is Minecraft, and I think that works quite well for what it is. Let me know if you guys have any more ideas for things we can place in these sorts of areas. Another thing which I noticed was there's a lot of blank space. Just picture this thing here gone. Just imagine it not being there like it is right now. And I was thinking this is kind of boring. We need something else in this area just to make it a little bit more filled in. And I was thinking just something random like that. Just a random wall in there. Maybe just something along the lines of this here. Really breaks up this area. There's really no need to have that there. Like, there's literally no need to have that there. But it just makes it a little bit more interesting, kind of like a little place to like tie your horse up to, or just in general a post for something. There we go. Just something a little bit more different, a little bit more interesting. I actually was meaning to put flowers in here, which I'm gonna have to go and get now because we don't have any flowers on us in here. But that is like, I think, looking pretty good. I think this is a very big change, I guess, in the city because this is what's going to be tying together the whole city. Whatever we start off now is going to slowly but surely work its way in through the rest of the city because we can't really do completely different roads all over the place. And I thought I'd just show you guys how cool this is looking from the top here. Look at that. How awesome is that looking? And when we go around this way as well, this is a really, really cool angle here. Just to kind of give ourselves a perspective of just how much work we've done already in here and how much is still to come. And it's so, so exciting to see it. So starting over here, going through all this, look at it. It's just slowly but surely turning out to be what we want it to be. And then there. all of that. Just looking pretty great in my opinion. Let's look behind us. But for today, guys, I think that will do it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed the path building, found building episode. I think it's been a really, really good one for me, at least. Getting a step ahead in this world and also stepping away from this monstrosity over here. But thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.